On the phone with me, good friend George Carlin, who tonight is appearing at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. I'm guessing the showtime is about 8 o'clock, right?
I think it is. That's what I'm planning on anyway.
I know there's a vocalist on before you, and then George Carlin comes right on out. Well, they can find out more on their website, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. And you have a website, too, where they can always find out where you're going to be at georgecarlin.com.
That's right. That's my. I don't keep it up very well, but it's a lot of information there. Plus, you can buy stuff.
Now, we first met, I guess, about 20 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but I was working either in Hartford or Springfield, Massachusetts, at a radio station. Springfield, okay. And I introduced you on stage, and backstage, we started talking about. We both love doo-wop records. Actually, you hate that word doo-wop. You like rhythm and blues vocal groups.
It's what's called a back formation. It's a word that was made up after the music was around. And it was made up by the white people, and to me it was never really, I called it the rhythm and blues hallway groups, the close harmony group.
And you actually used to do a bit on stage about them at one time, many years ago.
I did a song called Jenny. I could never do it again, but I used to do a song called Jenny.
But we started talking about it, and we got to be friends, and we've kind of kept in touch over the years.
Right. You've sent me tons and tons of great stuff that I never heard, stuff that wasn't in my life when I was that, even from the era when I liked the music, 52, 53, 54, even a little bit before that, you sent me a lot of good stuff.
Well, not everything that came out back then was hits.
No, a lot of it you had to kind of grit your teeth, but because they were all very primitive groups. They learned in the hallway, they learned on the street corner,
And you were playing that stuff. You were on the air, I guess, playing rock and roll records or rhythm and blues records in Shreveport and various other cities back then. You were playing them when they were newies.
Yeah, now I played it when it began to turn into rock and roll, which of course it kind of bothered my soul because I was from Harlem and I was from hanging out with black guys, and that's where I learned about black music. Then when the white kids took it over, I kind of felt like they had no right to do that. But I played the music because it was popular, and I had a 56 share down in Shreveport, and we had 9 stations in that market. I had a 56 share. So
that'll never happen again. That will never happen in radio again. A 56 share.
No, it never will.
You're happy to get a 5 share nowadays.
That's right.
It's so splintered and so segmented.
Fragmented, yeah.
Well, you are a groundbreaker. You are a legend in comedy. Almost 50 years of comedy. What has changed in 50 years?
Well, the thing that's changed is the culture, the American culture, the pop culture. That's what, when people say how novels changed, how television changed, how movies changed, all those things change because the culture changes. So the comedy just goes along for the ride. It hasn't really changed any. It's just got a broader palette now. You can select from more colors,
Well, being the broader palette, can you give us the 7 words we can't say on the radio?
Yes, of course, everybody, well, not everybody, but a few people know them.
Yep, that's all of them. Now, George Carlin, I don't know if you mind me saying this, but you're turning 70 this year. Is George Carlin going to slow down any, or are you going to keep the pace you've been going at?
Well, I want to do another HBO show, and then at that point I'll decide if I want to do a 15th. I've done 13. I'm going to do a 14th. Then I'll decide if I feel, it's pretty tough. The road is pretty tough. Being on stage is great, but the travel is tiresome, and some of the settings are a little dispiriting. So you just have to figure it out at the time it comes.
For tonight's performance, any coming attractions, anything new and exciting?
I got a whole new show. Whatever I did on HBO in 2005, that was my last show, called Life is Worth Losing, November 2005. That entire show is gone, and I have a brand new 60 or 70 minutes that I'll be doing tonight.
And I know you have, I think, 3 books out.
Yep.
Is there a 4th one on the way?
It will happen at some point, but we're doing a lot of stuff with our house and everything, and my schedule has kind of been badly interrupted for working on books, so that will come.
And how about films? I noticed you've been in a lot of films with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I guess they're good friends of yours.
No, it's Kevin Smith, the director, who is the buddy. But I'm not going to do any. I don't really care for that. I may find myself doing something, even though I say I'm not going to do them. But I don't like sitting around all day. I don't like 5 o'clock calls. I don't like sitting in the makeup chair at 6 in the morning. I don't like being up till 2 and then having to make a 10 o'clock. I don't like that. I don't need that stuff.
Well, you're incorporated this hour into our all-request hour. Bob's Bistro is what we call it. And from our musical menu, we were talking earlier about the doo-wop groups, the vocal groups. Is there something you'd like to hear to close out our conversation?
Since Frankie Lyman and the teenagers were kids from Harlem, probably within 10 blocks of where I hung out. I went in the Air Force just before their hit came out. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? That sounded like the best one you had for our purposes.
Again, tonight, 8 o'clock, George Carlin, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, and it's something not to be missed. I'm going to be there, and everybody else should be. We've given away a lot of tickets to see you, and everybody come on out tonight. I think there are still a few available. George Carlin, thank you for being part of KDES 104.7.
Okay, man. You take care.